guys, it's Melissa. Happy Thursday. Okay, I think I'm situated now. I left the other video up where I was sideways because it was just too funny it's just too funny to share, not to share. Anyway, I'm back. If you think I had it all together, you'd be wrong, as evidenced by my last video. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is I got the Cricut Easy Press back out, and we are going to see about how to sublimate on a tumbler. Okay, so obviously this tumbler is wider at the top than it is in the bottom, and the bottom part of this is actually too narrow to fit in the Cricut Easy Press, so we won't even be able to do that. But I get questions a lot about the various mug presses that I have, one of which is this one. I also have a 3-in-1 mug press, which is a standalone press. And then I have the 4-in-1 press, which is part of my larger 8-in-1. Okay, so the one with the 8-in-1 and also the 3-in-1 has multiple attachments, which you can use to do something like this tumbler. I have to be careful because I may or may not have been actually drinking out of this morning and still has stuff in it. But what you can see with something like this is it actually can't fit into the Cricut Easy Press because it doesn't close tight enough on it, okay? So you wouldn't be able to use a mug press, the Cricut Mug Press, to do a skinny tumbler. So same thing, you wouldn't be able to put it in here and do the bottom. However, if you were doing a small design at the top, I think that it will work. I actually haven't tried it, so we're gonna try this together. The key here is going to be to put it upside down and to press, okay? So, a couple of things. First, I haven't done anything with this other than plugged it in, and there's just a power button at the top to turn it on, okay? So it should tell us when it's all ready, and then we will be ready to press. Now, in the meantime, we're gonna get the sublimation print ready to go. What I have here is the same print on the same sheet of paper, obviously in 2 different sizes. So originally, I printed this top one up here. And then when I kind of put it on my mug, I was like, you know what, I think that's too small. So instead of throwing this paper out, I put it back into the sublimation printer. I have a Sawgrass SG 400. It's an older model of the SG 500 is the current model of that size, okay? And then in Silhouette Studio, I just enlarged my print a little bit, my design a little bit, sublimation design, and reprinted on the same page so that I didn't waste it, okay? All right, so let's see how we're doing here. I can feel this is warming up. So all we're gonna do is trim this down so that we can tape it onto the mug. Now, this is a sublimation ready mug. It does have to have a poly coating on there. When you are using sublimation, you need to tape. Okay, so I like to, if possible, leave a little bit of like a margin area on the sides so that I have room to tape. So this design is gonna go on here like this, and I am actually going to use the top. This was the top of the sublimation paper. I'm using A-sub, as you can tell. And you can use that to help align at the top if you want. Now, a couple of additional questions. Do you have to use the Cricut blanks with the Cricut sublimation blanks with the Cricut Mug Press? You don't. This came from Pro World, okay? It did not come from Cricut. The design, obviously printed on my Sawgrass SG 400, not the Cricut infusible ink. So those are obviously options, but I don't need to buy those items if I already have these other items. And you have a little bit of additional flexibility because, you know, if Cricut doesn't sell this size and you only have the mug, then, you know, just so you know, you're not as limited as what they sometimes claim you are. Maybe not claim, but may lead you to believe. All right, let's make sure our design is the right way because of course it wasn't, and that would have been just what we needed. Now I'm gonna tape this on here. I'm using high temperature tape. All right, this is for, to go into mug presses, heat presses, and it's just a tape that can withstand the high temperature. Now you have very little control over the mug press, okay? So that is what some people would say is a benefit because you literally just turn it on and it's going to heat up to the temperature that the things you need, I guess, which should be for for mugs, it should be between 385 and 400. So I'm assuming that that's what it's heating up to, okay? So I can feel it heating up. It's going to alert me when it's ready. This light at the top should be green when it's ready. I purposely did not turn this on until we got on Facebook Live so you guys could see about how long it takes for this to get warm. Now remember, once we do this, try to pull it so you guys can see as best as possible. When we do this, I am going to not put my mug in this way because a couple of reasons. This doesn't cover my mug. Secondly, if I close it now, this narrow part of the mug is not going to be tight in there, and we need pressure for sublimation to work. So we're actually going to do this one upside down, okay? And again, it's also going to control the amount of time. So there's not going to be much that I need to do. If I was using a traditional mug press, I would be setting the time, I would be setting the temperature, okay? So you don't do that with the Cricut Mug Press. All right, so the light is green. I don't know how long that was, maybe like 4 minutes or something. You guys can tell me based on the amount of time the video has been going on. And we are now ready to go. So I'm gonna place this in here. Again, usually I test this stuff. I did not test it. Now, one thing to really keep in mind, while this is going to close, there's still going to be a slight gap. So for something like this, make sure that your print is on the full part, like the back basically of the sublimation of the mug press. Okay, so it's in here. And now I'm just going to close this, and the white lights on top, you probably can't see, but the white lights on top are kind of flashing, and it's going to tell me when the time is up. Okay, so now we are just going to wait. It's going to be hot when it comes out, so grab some kind of little tool so that you can peel the tape off, okay? All right, so like I said, you can see here, there's a bit of a gap. This is definitely where you do not want your sublimation print to be, because this part is not being heated. I mean, I can feel it's warm, but it's not getting the pressure and the heat that the other like 80% of that enclosure is getting, okay? All right, so also don't be fooled and put your design upside down because you're doing your mug upside down. You wanna put your design on there correctly oriented and then flip it over. Couple other questions while we're waiting for this to go. Why is my sublimation ink dull? 100% normal. This happens with sublimation. It prints dull, and the ink is kind of activated when heat and pressure come on, and it's gonna get really vibrant. Okay, so here's another one that I did. I did this not in the Cricut Easy Press, but you can see how vibrant the colors get. All right, once you do sublimation. And this looked similar when I printed it, all right? So don't worry why it's not working. All right, we're up to 3.5 of the 5 lights. So once that's done, it should tell me that it's time to take the mug out of there, okay? Also, if you're just joining, hello. We are testing out the Cricut Mug Press today using a tumbler. Basically that's wider at the top than it is at the bottom. A skinny tumbler will not work in here because there's not enough, the Cricut Mug Press does not close tight enough on it. So this one, a full wrap that I did here, I did on my 4-in-1 Swing Design mug, excuse me. I did it on the Swing Design 8-in-1 heat press, which includes a mug press, okay? All right, so this should be almost done, and then we'll be ready to take that print off and see how that goes. So this mug press is really good if you want to put a design on there. If you're trying to do a full wrap, I think it's going to be a little bit more tough. It might work to do a full wrap on a mug. I don't have a mug. I don't have a white mug. But if you put and obviously you can't sublimate on a black mug, but if you put the mug in here, obviously this is where the handle would be sticking out. Okay, so let's see how this goes. It's hot. Woo! It's hot. Let me grab, I'll show you what I'm planning on doing later today so you guys can kind of see what's happening in my office today, my craft room today. All right, so be careful. So now we're just going to the big reveal. Oh boy. Now, if you're into there it is, okay? So I don't know if you can read it. Oh, I should have taped on the bottom so that we didn't get that it kind of faded off at the bottom. So that could be, again, this is kind of a test that we are doing. One of the reasons that we get this little bit of fading at the bottom, a couple of reasons. One, maybe tape it a little bit tighter. The other thing is, as I said, this cup narrows. So even this top part here, while this is wider than this smaller part down here, this is also a slight conical shape. So this is not the same diameter at the top all the way, even on this, the widest part, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? So it kind of goes like this and then slightly in and then smaller in even more. And that could be, we have less pressure at the bottom there. It's not super noticeable, but looking up close, I can see that, okay? I thought this design was so funny. I promise I'm nicer than my face looks. I do video calls all the time with my team or our developer or whatever, and one day he's like, why are you mean mugging? And I was like, I'm not, I guess I just have a mean face. Anyway, so I thought this was funny, but if you guys are interested in the Cricut Mug Press as an option, the one really nice thing is obviously it's small, compact, heats up quickly. However, I do think there are some drawbacks to it, but for some people, it might be a good option. Okay, if you are interested in, like I said, if you were gonna do a mug, you cannot sublimate on a black mug, just so you know, but this is where the handle would go out here, okay? All right, so, if you're interested in the design, it is from the Funny Quotes SVG design bundle on Sofanti. I threw the link up there for that too. I'm sure someone's asking me what kind of tape I used and where I got these mugs, which I forgot to add to the top, so I will put links for those in as well. All right, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous day. If you're interested in sublimation, I'll put the link to the sublimation printer as well. I get a lot of questions about how do you set this up in Silhouette Studio. Not really possible to do on a Facebook Live, but if you're interested and you love our videos, I would love for you guys to check out Silhouette U. Silhouette U is all, I put all premium content videos over there. They're exclusive, and we do and they're edited. So it's not live like this. So I can do in software all the way through to the end of the project. And actually we do a free video every month, and today is the last day to check out that free video of the month on silhouetteu.com. All right, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous day. I'll see you soon.